That's how my father-in-law introduced the blonde stranger at Christmas dinner. He'll be perfect for your position at the company after you get laid off and divorced. I buttered a roll, calmly. How nice, I said. James, did they mention the company is in my name? Also, the prenup? Gloria, my wife, choked on her wine. The setup, the Peaton mansion looked like a Hallmark store had exploded, gold everything, mistletoe in bulk, a tree with its own zip code. The decor screamed cheer. The air smelled like a setup. Gloria had been unusually sweet on the drive over. That was my first red flag. When someone who's treated you like athlete's foot for months suddenly giggles and holds your hand, you brace for impact. At the head of the table sat Richard Peaton, silver hair, razor smile, the monarch of mahogany. To his right, Miranda, Gloria's sister, was 3 glasses into her liquid personality. Across from me sat James Worthington, tall, Ivy League handsome, a suit that cost more than my first car, and an expression that said he'd never been told no. Richard lifted his glass. Everyone, meet James, Harvard MBA, excellent family connections. He'll be perfect for your position after you're laid off and divorced. Silence. Then Gloria's giggle, Miranda's cackle, Richard's thunderous laugh. James shifted in his chair like his tux turned to burlap. I reached for the butter. How nice, I repeated, keeping my voice dialed to sleep aid. I turned to James. Did they happen to mention the company is legally mine? That every asset is titled to me? And the prenup Gloria signed? The laughter died like someone pulled the plug on a karaoke machine. 5 years of Peatons, if you're wondering how we got here. From day one, Richard introduced me as Gloria's temporary accessory. Funny, right? He'd do it at galas, the club, family dinners, anywhere there was an audience. Gloria never corrected him. Miranda clinked a martini and called it wit. My background. I took my grandfather's modest seed money and built a real company in a cramped office above a Chinese restaurant. Answered my own phones. Reinvested every dollar. 8 steady, boring, profitable years. Richard noticed the boring profit and slithered in as a strategic partner. He brought connections, overhead, and 0 ownership. My lawyers saw to that. Every share, deed, patent, and account, mine. Not ours, mine. Their little theater Gloria launched into a pitch about James's pedigree. Miranda toasting fresh blood, Richard droning about vision and growth. Corporate cliches flew like confetti. I ate my prime rib and let them talk. Finally, I set down my glass. Richard, this expansion of our family wealth, which assets exactly? He faltered, recovered. Naturally, the company's tremendous growth since I came on board. The company incorporated 3 years before I met Gloria, I said. Every share has my signature. The headquarters deed? My name, my funds, my guarantees. The patents? My R&D, my facilities? My name on each application. James's gaze ping-ponged between us. He was doing math no MBA course covered, Miranda whispered, but the lawyers... Your lawyers misunderstood the structure, I said. Because when you build from scratch, you lock the cage before you swim with sharks. Richard tried the old money bellow. Partnership agreements, investment contracts, all strictly advisory. No equity, no votes, no claim upon separation. I smiled. Signed by you. Gloria's voice shot up 3 octaves. The prenup covers marital assets. Correct, I said. Assets acquired during the marriage. The company, building, patents, and about 90% of current assets predate the wedding. Separate property clause. Your lawyer explained it. You signed. Silence. Seasoned with panic. Exhibit A. St. Regis. Since we're celebrating transparency, I said, setting my phone on the table, let's talk schedules. Gloria turned gray. When a spouse spends Tuesday, Thursday and Friday afternoons at the St. Regis, same suite, room service for 2, and charges it to a joint card, a curious husband might call the hotel. Excellent record keeping. Also, I tapped. Credit card statements, boutique lingerie receipts, timestamps, and those delightful iCloud text backups you accidentally synced. Miranda dropped her glass. Crystal shrapnel skittered across linen. Humiliate me? Gloria managed. Share data, I corrected. It's a family business, after all. Exhibit B, Dad's piggy bank. Richard regained some color. Wrong move. Your recent expenses, I said, sliding a manila folder across the table. 47 grand in client wines in 18 months. $68 grand a year and 3 club memberships under entertainment, and a 42-foot Sunseeker docked in Miami as a mobile office for a region where we have 0 clients. Miranda gasped. Daddy said that boat was the Weatherby's. It belonged to the company, I said. Past tense. The marina seized it this afternoon. Paperwork moves fast when the owner files it. Richard croaked. You can't, that's theft. You expensed a $500,000 yacht without the owner's authorization. If someone's talking to law enforcement about theft, it isn't me. I flipped a page. $30,000 a month in strategic advisory fees to yourself. Attendance, golf. Deliverables, none. Plus forged email approvals and very helpful board meeting recordings. Richard went gray lilac. The words embezzlement and fraud tend to do that. The collapsed Gloria started screaming about our money. I reminded her the only revenue she'd ever produced was selling handbags on eBay at a loss. Miranda pivoted to family. Reputation. I mentioned the IRS and federal investigators aren't big on reputations. Richard pounded the table. Ungrateful. We made you. I laughed. You spent 5 years insulting me while siphoning from my company. James stood, finally finding a spine. I think I should go, he whispered. This seems private. You can't leave, Gloria snapped. We had an agreement. To take over a company from the person who owns it? James said, already reaching for his coat. No thanks. And he walked. Smart kid, exit chaos. Accusations ricocheted around the chandelier. I finished my wine, stood, buttoned my coat. This has been enlightening, I said. Merry Christmas. Expect letters from my lawyers by New Year's. I left to the soundtrack of 3 people discovering consequences. Afterglow, my townhouse, quiet street, normal neighbors, sat under fresh snow. I'd bought it 3 years ago through a holding company and moved my real life there piece by piece. Grandfather's desk. The books. The photographs from before I mistook pedigree for character. My phone vibrated like a trapped hornet all the way home. Calls from Gloria, rage to bargaining to begging. Richard, threats, connections. And Miranda, word salad with wine dressing. I let them roll to voicemail. Each ignored call felt like clipping. A wire off a bomb. Bourbon. Leather chair. Silence. No. Lectures on legacy. No performative contempt. Just peace. Bye. Midnight, the messages stopped, likely on counsel's advice. I lifted my glass to the window's reflection of quiet lights. Merry Christmas to me. The company is mine. Airtight structures, trusts, filings, signatures. The assets are mine. The house she loves? Company property. She'll be packing. Richard's advisory role? Cancelled. His expenses? Itemized and reported. The yacht? Gone. The board? Briefed. Mostly I have my life back. They tried to gift me humiliation. I accepted something better. Clarity. And freedom, it turns out, is the best present under any tree.